Hey there, folks, and welcome back to the Monapia Campaign. My voice is still recovering a little bit, but I am actually now basically healed from the coronavirus in terms of my major symptoms. I'm going back to work in a couple days, and hopefully my audio setup is improved a bit from the previous couple episodes. I had to have the fan going on my face for the first couple of recording sessions because I was still kind of feverish, but my temperature is back to normal, the fan is turned off, and I'm trying to talk a bit more into the microphone. Hopefully it picks me up a bit better. I think the first 3 episodes were a little worse audio quality than I would normally like, but they were okay for what they were. I'm hoping that this is improved from that. So let's go ahead and resume. Last time we took on Damnonia and Wodadinia, getting ourselves some territory. Confusingly, our national color is very similar to the uncolonized color. This is going to really throw me off quite a bit, especially with all the uncolonized land all around us, but we'll just have to get used to it. I think when we tag switch to Albion much later in the campaign, we're going to have our color change. At least that's what I think. I think Albion, I don't know what color scheme Albion has actually, but we'll find out later in this campaign. Either way, until then, we have to deal with the very sort of white marbly color of the Monapia color scheme. Not sure how we get that from our white and blue flag. I guess the white is part of our flag color, but either way. So last time we basically did have some depopulation happen, and this is going to really affect our mission tree because, as I said last episode, controlling a province actually means owning all of the settlements, which includes the decolonized or the depopulated settlements. We have to recolonize them in order for it to count. Now, fortunately, Damnonia, as we can see here from this list, is within range of Manawia. So once Manawia has 8 pops, namely 8 pops that aren't mainly made up of slaves, we will be able to send over some colonists. Din Guardi is going to be a little bit harder to reach. We don't really have any major towns nearby. Probably we're going to have to develop our provincial capital up here, Boness, to become the Din Guardi colonizer. We shall see. Now, one other thing I can do is actually, in this episode, a little bit of internal affairs stuff. I've done a lot of warfare. And we are going to be attacking more into Taxalia in this episode, or possibly next episode. I should note, in terms of the claims, I do have claims on Taxalia and the nation of Caledonia. Now, the Caledonia province is split like around here. So we have Caledonia claimed already through its Taxalia holdings over here. However, we don't have any claims on Karnarnakea or Cornawia, who I think in the first episode I said that I was the only city-state in Albion. My mistake, Cornawia is actually a city-state, or at least it is now. I'm not sure if it was at the start of the game. I may have forgotten about them because they're up here at the very tip of Caledonia. Either way, whatever their status is soon going to be my victims because I'm going to be attacking these guys through some manual claiming because the way that the mission would normally work is we'd have to own Taxalia in order to get the claim on the Caledonia province. Excuse me. But because owning Taxalia includes controlling these like 6 different uncolonized territories, it's just not happening. So we have to do these claims manually. I do want to clean up the north and get these tags destroyed. I actually care more about the nations being destroyed than I do about controlling the land myself. It's mostly just about making sure there's no surprise enemies or surprise opportunities for enemy military shenanigans up north of our border. Oh my gosh, my throat. One moment. Wow, okay, I don't know what's going on. I thought that I had really recovered, but I think talking this much is gonna resubmerge my throat into the mucus hell that is being sick. Either way, we're all here for some Imperator Rome fun, so let's just push on through. So, we just finished the war, I think yesterday or today technically. Saving up our PI, saving up our money. The goal, by the way, if I didn't mention this very clearly last episode, is to save up our resources to found a city in Manawia. Very expensive to do this while in the tribal stage, but because I'm not rushing to reform into a monarchy super fast, and I'm not going to get there for quite a while, I really need to upgrade Manawia into a city. So I'm going to pay the premium. The main issue here is going to be the gold, and that's actually why I think hunting down these tags in the north, so Taxalia, Caledonia, Karnarnake, Cornawii, I need to look at these tribes as little bank accounts, and it's in the form of all of their nobility who I could enslave with my very large amount of room in my tyranny bar, it's not really a bar, my tyranny resource, you know, account. I have a lot of room to do this because I have so much tyranny reduction. And that's 4 instances of selling nobles. I think if I sell off the nobility of the northern tribes, I should have enough money by the end of that to turn Manawia into a city. And then a lot of our problems start to get easier because then we can fortify Manawia. I can kind of chill out about that. I can use my navy a bit more aggressively. I can also just generally improve Manawia quite a bit more once it is a city. But in the meantime, before I get there, because I do need to actually have my army be ready, which it won't be until next year, I think what I'll do, let's see here, so this is January, February, March, April of 48, so we'll wait about a year, and then in April of 48, we'll spawn the guys probably in Calchow, walk them over to Boness, we'll have the fleet at Boness ready to pick them up, and we'll do a daring landing at Aberdwee when we attack Taxalia. Probably get there either when or before Taxalia raises their forces. Maybe I should land at Taxalia, Australis. The issue, though, is that I think it should be okay if we just do a landing attack. We don't have a lot of room to work here because they're right up against the Caledonia Highlands Mountains, which, by the way, I should note, there's a lot of barbarian power in these mountains. I actually just looked at this between episodes, and if there is a barbarian uprising, we get 6 cohorts up here in the northern mountains and 11 cohorts here, so that's pretty spooky. I may have to cede the land to the barbs if they appear and just kind of run away, because I don't really have the martial prowess to deal with that, but it is what it is. Alright, so that's the plan. We're going to basically wait a year, recover our resources a little bit, and just do some internal management. Now, one thing I want to do is start moving tribesmen into Manawia. Not so much because that's going to really change the dynamics, but I do want, while I have the ability to move tribesmen, because I'm a tribe, to move as many tribesmen as I can into Manawia itself, just so they are also safer, because technically speaking, Manawia is the safest place in all of my lands to be at the moment. So with an eye to not putting any location below 2 population, just for safety. Okay, we got an extra tribesman in Galwadel. We've only 1 in Blatobulgium. We probably should move 1 to Blatobulgium if we can help it. Okay, we don't really actually have that many tribesmen in retrospect, so perhaps moving tribesmen is a little bit premature. What I should probably do actually is move slaves around. Now, I'm fairly sure that I have a building around here somewhere. Yeah, we do have a mine over here. Let me look at it like this, actually. We have a mine here. We could build a mine here in Gathwis. This is a stone area. We have a building up here, of course, but this is in the Taxalia province. I think what we should do is, so within the Wodadinia province, so I'm not sure if we need a port here, especially because it's a pirate haven. I think Nawante can lose the port, and this will, I think, send these pirates elsewhere. That's going to be actually quite important, because I don't anticipate needing to hire the pirates. If they had a really, really good admiral, I'd consider it, but I don't really think this guy is that impressive. And these guys are just going to cause me a lot of anxiety, so I think we destroy the port. Yeah, the pirates are going to probably go somewhere else, or they're going to despawn. I'm not going to build something else here, but that did make me a bit of money, which is pretty good. Alright, so what I should probably do... Do I have access to it? Let me tentatively cancel one of these deals. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong spot, actually. Oh, is that 3 out of 2? That's right. I shouldn't have canceled that deal. Okay, well, it's more important now that I'm trading for the bonus, so let me remove everything. We lost access to our woad. Because I dropped down to 3 out of 2. I'm not sure. I think it maybe had another trade route from being a city-state. But I'd rather, instead of keeping the glitched 3 out of 2, I need to trade for the pairs of resources for different bonuses. Namely, I need to trade for vegetables. I'm going to move some slaves around. 25% move slave cost. It's, with the amount of money that I'm making per month, I need to do stuff like this, even if it is a very small effect. Let's just trade with 2, who's this? Actually, let me set up a trade with non-Albion people, just because. All right, so trading for vegetables briefly. We're not gonna do this permanently. Gonna try and set up our mine over here. What do we need for surplus? 12 slaves for surplus. All right. So the nice thing is that at the moment, the pop assimilation. Actually, hold on. Is there a bonus for being the capital territory? Or does that affect everywhere? No, that just affects Monapia. Okay, technically speaking, what I should be doing is trying to put as much population in Monapia because of the high assimilation. The issue, though, is it's only going to assimilate 1 pop at a time, of course, so I can't... Adding more population in Monapia just to hang out doesn't actually do anything if it's not for some other purpose, because this assimilation bonus is only applied to 1 population at a time. So what I should do is move some slaves over. And what I should also do is... yeah, let's do it like that. All right, we'll pop over. Okay, we're not going to be able to avoid reducing the population of these places below 2. I think I just have to be careful. This is just what we're dealing with up here in this distant part of the world. All right, let's go ahead and move a slave over from Galwadel. We had 0 slaves. Oh, sheesh. How many slaves do I actually have even available to us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which would put us to 9. So we don't even have enough slaves in the world to do this yet. Let's still start setting it up. Move from Monapia. Alright. And then let's move 1 tribesman, which is not cheaper compared to slaves. But let's move 1 tribesman to Monapia from the place that is 2 tribesmen. Phantom. Are there 2 places with 2 tribesmen? Yeah. Galwadel and... yeah, okay. There we go. Okay, that's gonna have to do. Also, let's definitely tell these guys to not allow slave promotion. Almost there. Once we get an extra copy of stone, we can sell it. All right, so now let's go ahead and reset our trade deals for now. We're gonna keep changing our trade deals on the fly like this quite a bit in this campaign. What do we want to set it to now? I actually don't think normally livestock's a go-to for me, but I think at the moment we need to keep our population fairly static because it's a lot of tribesmen, which is actually our best type of population at the moment, so I don't really want them promoting up. We could have had the 2 load, but nope. We could get 1 copy of fur for tribesman happiness in Wododinia, the province. Actually, you know what? There's probably population up here too that I didn't really do anything with. Let me move 1 of the... Actually, I'll keep 2 tribesmen in Boness, because this is going to be my other major location. Not a city yet, but it will be another major location. Sorry about my voice there. Okay, I think let's see. We could trade for base metals again. I think we'll just trade for base metals again. I need to play around. Around with light and 3 bonus, and it's an okay value. Okay, so that's that. Galleys are being constructed. What's our timeline for this? We got 2 more coming in. I think we'll get to 10 galleys long before the war. Then we'll move the fleet over to the port in Boness temporarily. It's still gonna live. It's gonna be the Classis 1 Monapia, but we're just for tactical purposes moving it to Boness temporarily for the Taxalia War. All right, let's go ahead and resume. All right. My alliance with Brontia looks fairly secure. They seem to be pretty happy with me. Couldn't do a league with them, but I don't really think it's necessary. I think at this point, they were previously going to break the alliance mainly because of my very small size, and they knew that they had a lot more power. But now I'm actually of a similar size to them, and I have a much larger navy. I might technically be stronger than them, according to the game. I actually think that, according to me, I would be as well. I wouldn't disagree with that. Did they hire mercenaries? Did they just do that? Oh, that's bad timing, Brigantia. Goofy activity from Brigantia. Who knew? Also on, oh, you know what? 1st of October for 60, we're going to do the War Council. I didn't do this in the 55, but I'd rather do it in 60 just so that it's linked up with the 10-year increments. This may give us some extra claims on, well, actually, I think it gives you claims on neighbors, and it will just give us claims on Brigantia and Carwetia. So maybe what I should do is prior to 450, I actually take land in Hibernia, because I do have claims in Hibernia at the moment. Yeah, I have claims in the northern province, just so that I have neighbors in Hibernia to get War Council claims on. I think that might be a better idea, actually. Yeah. I think, because the thing is, all the Hibernia land is currently not, it's currently colonized. Of course, it may become depopulated by war, because it's such small, the populations are so small everywhere. But this is probably a better plan. Oh, speaking of depopulation, 2 spots down here. Dang. I think that was Uzdia that just lost that. Anyways, so who would I actually want to attack, though? Well, probably Waluntia, actually. Do I have a truce with them still? I do not. I do have a truce with Rubagdia. Waluntia is diplomatically isolated, and I have the claim on them. They have a truce with... Oh, yeah, because they broke their alliance with me, so they have a truce with me. But it's actually ending next year anyway. It's not that that matters. I can still declare war on them with no penalty. I could do this without calling in Brigantia, because there's no reason to. I guess I... Well, I guess I could just to build relations with them. I could have my forces on the boats landing in... Maybe I could land straight into Ismoon. I do think getting some land in Hibernia before I get the War Council up is a good call, because this way it gives me a shot at some claims on, like, Ablania. If I could get a claim on Ablania, for example, that opens the door, because Ablania has territory in multiple different provinces. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. I think because of how unpopulated the north is, we need to actually turn to Hibernia at this point before the War Council gets up. Yeah, so let's plan to... I think just out of simplicity, because it's like the next obvious target, let's attack Waluntia first. They're not going to bring in anybody. And nobody else up here in this province that I'll have claims on actually has any allies with anybody, so it wouldn't matter to pick somebody else. Population-wise, how are we looking? Still got 3 Monapians. We can see here from this number that our assimilation is still ongoing. It hasn't quite started to work yet, but we're on the way. I guess, you know what? I was actually thinking I should set up colonies, but that's going to actually redistribute my Monapians, which I actually don't want to do. I need to wait, actually. Like, my population situation is so dire, I actually can't do colonies, like the cultural colonies, the way that I normally would, because it moves your native pops around, and that would actually screw it up, so I need to keep it as it is. Oh well. I think what we do is we do a quick war against Waluntia, just secure this beachhead into Hibernia, and then it's also connecting the straits, so we have that strategic advantage too. This is a better connection to get versus Rubagdia. And I think I have a truce with Rubagdia still. Yeah, until 61. That's fine. Not in a huge rush. Alright, a couple months to go. Alright, our fleet is done. I think 10 galleys should be enough. Well, it's definitely going to be enough. I'd be shocked if the enemy ever had, or if any of these tribes had a fleet this large just sitting around. I could push it up to 30 just to fill the combat width of the the sea tiles, but I think that's unnecessary at this stage. An 11 Marshal Admiral leading a 10 ship navy should beat anything in Albion one-on-one. If I'm fighting multiple navies, which is the real danger, of course, because naval combat takes so long, you get locked in place, and then the enemy fleets can kind of converge. I've still got to be kind of careful, but this should be the naval super weapon that I need to keep it together. Manpower is looking pretty solid, getting some manpower buffs. I'm fairly sure, by the way, that your manpower max is mostly based on your native population, but it also is based to some extent on your total population. So even though we don't have the kinds of manpower explosion in terms of the room that you'd think we'd have for all the new territory, the territory and the territorial expansion isn't what matters, it's the population expansion. So we're getting a little bit of extra manpower from the non-integrated population, but because they're not Monopians, this is really not reflecting the kind of exponential growth that we've had territorially. Because, of course, again, in this game, territory is what you see on the screen, but it's a trick. Population is what really matters, not territory. Territory matters just to contain population. But it's something I think a lot of newer players are confused by. And other Paradox games do a slightly better job, I think, at kind of communicating. And this game just really doesn't do a great job at making that clear, that population is really what it's all about. Alright, I think we are now ready to go. I think we just get going. Let's get the levy going. Pay for everything. And these guys still don't have any ships, so I don't need to pay for my ships. I'll push up the army maintenance. It's just going to cost me in population happiness. It's not that big of a deal. We don't have any serious issues anywhere, so we should be fine. Alright, development, keep on shock action, lead who follows. Yeah, and also 10 ships is enough to carry multiple armies around. I'll eventually have to expand the navy just for carrying purposes. And also, once Manawi is a city, I can increase the port size up to 3 and build some medium ships. That's going to be big. Probably unnecessary in the early game, but could be big, though. Troubling developments. Recently, we've seen that our High Priest, Taskiawanis Urkis, as well as those under his charge, have been doing a disappointing job. It seems people having issues with them keep reporting back to us how difficult they are to work with. While talking to the man, he claims it is simply a matter of bureaucracy being difficult, and that the funds for his office has been lacking lately. He makes sure to mention repeatedly that it would most likely work out if only he were given more funds to work with. I want to lose the corruption on Talorc, actually, and this guy's fairly loyal, though he won't be after this. Takes him down to 30. I need... yeah, that's right. In weakness, bribing happens with the personal coffers of the leader. That's very, very punishing. And we're not going to be able to bribe this guy. Oh, you know what? That's 40. What am I talking about? 55 minus 15 is 40, not 30. What? Such a goofy mistake. All right, whatever. So he's not actually disloyal though, so that's totally fine. The admiral, though, I'm a little bit nervous about this. Can I give free hands? He's not an officer, so I can't give him free hands. As long as commanded ships isn't increasing, I think it's 10 because we have 10 ships. I think his loyalty should be secure. He's a really good character because he has bad loyalty traits and they give good stats otherwise. I could try and befriend him. That might be a good idea, actually. Let's give it a try. Let's try and befriend the Admiral Donis, just to see if we can pull this off. Good friends. Although now that I think about it, that's going to replace... No, actually no. Stakeholders is still the ambition, so we're totally fine. That's important to keep the same. Alright, let's keep letting our morale build up. Make sure we got plenty of food. I think next month we'll launch out and go to war. Arbitrary demands. First one which I can see. These guys have allied Winiknia. Okay, that's fine, actually. That is another target for the war, so that just expanded things a fair bit. We'll take a look at that in a moment. Arbitrary demands. Inimicus Bolgius, our arbiter, has sent us a demand for more funding to do his job properly. The appeal for more gold seems a bit arbitrary, but we've noticed certain issues when it comes to that office lately. Didn't we just have an event like 5 minutes ago of someone asking us for money to like do their job? Though it seems a bit outrageous, not sending them the money would probably end up causing issues down the line. I mean, 10 gold for 10 PI is normally a trade that I'd love. Also, pop conversion speed, if that was a simulation speed, that'd be big, but no, I don't need to worry about conversion. National Freeman happiness, I don't even think I have any Freeman at the moment, so that sort of doesn't matter. Yeah, these malices shouldn't really be a huge issue. But then again, do I really want to get this malice in exchange for not getting, in exchange for losing 10 gold? I think this is probably worth it just to avoid the malice. Because in 60 months, I might have Freeman that I need to think about, and 12% Freeman happiness is pretty substantial. So let's just take the hit. 10 PI is also nice. The thing is, I'm not used to having this much PI stored up, and I can have up to 500 PI stored up, I'm fairly sure. Yeah, it says it right there, actually. So I'm saving up the PI for my city, and for other purposes, too. I'll have to do some provincial stuff with the PI, actually, fairly soon, so... Okay, hopefully this will be enough. That'll have to do. Alright, so if these guys are allied with Winiknia, who also don't have any ships, okay, never mind. I thought I'd have to be worried about that. Not so much. The one issue, though, is now we're going to be dealing with 4,000 soldiers in total. I should probably have a Iberian ally to help me here. I could probably bribe somebody around here, and they'd go for it. My AE was slightly lower. They're like on the verge, you know. What do I do here? Because Brigantia as an ally will be... Well, actually, no. I think maintaining the Brigantine Alliance just to control my southern border is solid. You know what I mean? Like, I'm worried about Brigantia. If Brigantia became my enemy, they'd be a very complicated enemy to fight because of just how much they have. So I think I keep the Brigantine Alliance just for my own safety. Maybe I turn it into a league and then I dissolve the alliance, but I think that's kind of a risk. Let's see. That being said, what do I have to do here for this war, for this to work for me? I think what I need to do is lure them over and have them do a straight attack. Maybe I hire mercenaries. Maybe that's the answer. 14 marshal as well. This merc force is right here. This is a lot of my money, though, and the whole point of all this war is to make money. That use up all my money. I probably shouldn't do that. I think I need a Hibernian ally for this war to work with their new ally. Against just Wallachia, I could have managed, but I'm going to be facing 4,000 minimum, and my 2,000 just can't cut it. Maybe I ally with Dorinia? No, they won't go for it. I think it's gotta be Ablania. That's my best ally in terms of drawing them over, because they're gonna have an unfortified, yeah. Caucia Occidentalis is unfortified, so they're gonna draw in the Winiknian forces here, and their capital Caucia is gonna also cause trouble. All right, what do we do here then? I think we send them a gift, and then next month we ally with them. This is going to delay our war starting by a bit more, but I think one gift should be enough. It's only 5 gold. Basically, I'm doing this instead of paying 100 gold for the mercs, because I'm basically buying Ablania's army indirectly, and their territory to distract the enemy armies. Alright. Making an impression. Oh yeah, so speaking of gold, our position offers many ways to publicly flatter Adonis Wilgius. This is the admiral I'm trying to befriend. Careful praise of his deeds in the halls of government and among the notaries of our country will be sure to find its way back to his ears. Alternatively, a lavish sacrifice in his honor can hardly go ignored. And then again, few can spurn the gift of a public statue in their honor, particularly a flattering one. So I could pay PI. This is actually a good time to use some PI for stuff like this. 5 stability? No. By sacrificing a bull? Sheesh. Right, let's publicly praise his and his deeds. Yes, let's do that. 10 PI. Now they'll become my ally. I'll lose some PI for having 2 allies, but the Ablania alliance is very much a temporary affair. They're actually going to be my target later on, so... now, by the way these events work is your ruler can go into debt. I actually don't know what Invictus did to the character in debt thing, because in the base game, being in debt didn't actually have any malice. It just slows down Talorc's ability to do bribes later on, but he has such little personal wealth, and as a tribal chief, he makes so little money. Yeah, I don't think that we're not going to really have wealth ever. So I think I just splurge out and give Donis the... Let me read the event here, actually. Wild beasts from the far corners of the earth make for eye-catching and exotic gifts. Various merchants throughout the region offer a wide range of creatures, both for the arena and private ownership, from Scythian colts to Nubian leopards. The question is, which impressive beast to send? So, in my experience, the friendship event chain in this game is a huge pile of crap, and it's basically multiple layers of dice rolls, and you're basically spending more resources to weigh the dice more and more. You always need to do the best possible outcome to have any shot at this being fair. I really don't like the way this works. It's just a huge money sink, and it doesn't feel very authentic. I mean, in all fairness, Crusader Kings 3 came along later and had a much better developed friendship situation. I think there's actually a DLC that came out that further complicated it, but Talorc's just going to have to go into debt to buy that tiger. Needs must, you know. All right, we're going to ally with Ablania. There we go. Yes, I know, too many relations, I'm aware. Now, fortunately, Talorc is doing the scheme influence to give us the 20% monthly, so we're still doing better than normal. And at the moment, of all the resources to lose out on, PI is actually weirdly the one that's the most okay. Right, let's go ahead and get on the votes now. You too. Yeah, let's get ready. So I think what we want to do is... Can I walk on their land now, right? I think just automatically I can. Oh, I don't have access still. Shoot. I think we actually just walk into Ismanian from Calcia Orientalis. I think it's going to be faster than landing from the water, and if they spawn in Ismanian, it's an attack over the river in the forest. Ah, this is such a good defensive spot for them. Maybe we actually walk into Voluntia Australis and post up there. Wait and see what Ablania does. Wait for Ablania to join me, and then with Ablania, we walk over to Ismanian. But then we're at risk of Ablania having someone with more than 9 martial. I don't know Ablania's generals. I feel like there's a good chance they don't, but it's also possible they do. I think it's a risk we have to take. Because I need to get connected with the Ablania forces ASAP, so... Actually, let's get off the boats, just for now. And then, just so we're not sitting on the boats with attrition. And then, after we get military access, we'll come land. So we're going to delay a little bit further. Unfortunate, but yeah, the fact that Voluntia got this last-minute alliance has kind of thrown everything into a weird... So let's cancel our military access with Voluntia. Just so we're not breaking any trees when we declare war on them a bit later on. Oh. Ah, crap. Ablania's at war with Calcia. Oh, that's really bad timing. Ah, God, alright. This is okay. Are they just at war with just Calcia? Looks like they are. Calcia has a fleet, though. If they invite me to the Calcia war, I mean, that's a big problem, because Calcia's fleet... I haven't been paying my boats. Crap. Alright. I think, so... I can't rely on Ablania's army to bolster my forces. I think what we need to do is rely on Ablania as land to distract and befuddle the AI. I think what we do is we actually land in Winiknia at Winiknia Borealis. We just do a landing attack. Or maybe we land at Magnatia Occidentalis and move up here to Winiknia Australis. The thing is, I think, let's just do a landing attack at Winiknia Borealis. I think we may be able to do it before they spawn their forces. Actually, no, hold on. Let's land at Winiknia Australis, then we post up there in the forest, wait and see for them to move. I think that's probably our best bet. This just got exponentially more complicated. Crap, I gotta pay my boats now. Yeah, you know what? Scrap all that. I gotta pay my boats. They're gonna invite me to the Calcia War. I think we just have to join them for the... Well, the whole point of all this was to have land in Hibernia before 460. So that's now looking a little... I can't do the Calcia War first. Calcia only has 1,500 though. Oh, hold on. Their capital's unfortified because they have a port. Okay, you know what we do actually? We join the Calcia War, we snipe their capital, and then we just take Calcia. I'm a genius. Alright, folks, it's coming together. I know exactly what I gotta do. Alright. The benefits of power. Donis Bulgius is the target of a brazenly outspoken critic who has been provoking his ire for some time. It seems the loudmouth is protected by political opponents of Donis and believes himself to be untouchable. This would be an excellent opportunity to impress Donis. 5 tyranny for just a small amount of progress and 30 more gold. Nah. I'll take my chances. Can they invite me to the war? I'm their ally. Maybe once the timer's done. I gotta keep waiting anyways. I think once, here we go. Can I ask to join the war? I think I have to wait for them to invite me. But they should invite me sooner or later. In the meantime, let me go ahead and get military access. Alright, so the new plan is, I mean, technically speaking, I haven't done anything to prep for Voluntia specifically. I already had the claim on them. I think we switch gears and we try and focus on sneaking over and grabbing Calcia, because their capital is this unfortified port town. Now, unfortunately, they're not doing a great job at protecting it. This is pretty bad play from the AI. Maybe Ablania doesn't notice this, because the AI is also controlling Ablania, so we shall see. I just need to wait for them to invite me to the war, though, and then oh, here we go. Alright, call to arms, accept offer. Alright. Bit of an unusual maneuver for this campaign, but we're going to get on our boats before the morale is full. Taking our chances here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop off at Ablania, and then I'm going to zoom the boats back over to Banawia, because if their fleet comes out, yeah, I'm going to win the fight against the low morale fleet, but they're going to do a lot of damage to my expensive galleys, and I'm not going to play around with that. So we come here, and we just land at Ablania, and then we get Ablania immediately, and let's see here. So they do have a 9... Actually, no, that's Calcia. 3, 4. Okay, so Ablania has some terrible generals. That's pretty good to see. Their tribal chiefs are not pulling through. Slow this down. Alright, so I think we should get there in time. I think the AI notices what I'm doing, and we're getting spooked. But we should still be okay. We've got full morale on the army, so that's should be fine. 13th of October. I think we should be fine. Now, unfortunately, this has been occupied by Ablania. If I can somehow get access to this, that'd be cool. But if not, I can honestly... I could just leave it or give it back to Ablania. This is on a river, so I care about that. I guess we'll see. Maybe the Chalcians will go and retake that. I mean, either way, again, like, to make it clear, the goal of this war against who are, I mean, in this case, it's become against Kaukia, just by circumstance, but it's to get territory on Hibernia so that my war council targets Hibernian claims, because then I have neighbors on Hibernia. Because otherwise, my only neighbors, the people I border, are Carwetia and Brigantia, both people I don't need or really want claims against. Having claims against Brigantia would actually damage my relationship with them. So if this gives me claims against Ablania, for example, that'd be okay too. Once I have this beachhead, I don't need allies in Hibernia really ever again. Although I might need allies for war. I probably shouldn't say that. I shouldn't be that spurned by that. What? Oh, I should have done that thing, the tyranny gaining thing. Despite our best efforts to encourage a friendship with Donis, it would appear he's not convinced this is terribly vexatious. So fortunately, being spurned doesn't actually cause any problems with the character. But I did spend a lot of resources, a lot of Talorc's personal resources to do that, so that's irritating. Not much to do about that, though. Actually, I think the classes will go into the port there, slightly closer by. Alright, let's head back over. Alright, so in 18 days, so once Kaukia retrieves that, I think what we do is we somehow, let's see here. What do we have here? I love Kaukia, Akhid, and Talis. So, Ablania, they're coming in with the 4 Martial, Tribal Chief, Clotru. Yikes. Alright, what do we got here? 9, oh yeah, Ablania's in trouble. Kaukia's gonna win that fight. So, I have to still get over there, though. That's gonna be kind of tricky. Either way. While we're in port here, I think we recover morale. Yeah, 0.63. That's basically full recovery. Should be fine. God, stop! Just stop depopulating the friggin' land. Alright. Moving in here. Oh, Ablania won the fight? What, really? How did they do that? They must have had some insane rolls, because look at that martial difference. Okay, I should have watched that fight, because I don't know how they did that. So, whatever. So, coming in here, we're going to catch these guys who are fleeing from that fight. I'm very annoyed that I... What is this? Oh, this is a naval fight between Ablania and Kaukia. Totally fine. This should be a pretty easy fight. Then we should be able to get this. And we'll grab that. The fact that we can't get a port now on Hibernia is a problem, though. I don't really have a good answer to that. Alright, can't go there yet. Ablania should be, I can colonize it from Manawia, so fortunately it is within range of Manawia to recolonize, but that is very irritating. Not having a, I guess, I definitely do need Monapia. Monapia is going to have to be, or Monapia, Akhid, and Talis is going to have to be my port on Hibernia with the river. That's going to have to do for now, which is pretty bad, but it is what it is. Alright, thank God this didn't depopulate it. Alright, this should be a fairly straightforward fight. What do we got? 3,325. And they're on reduced morale. Or are they? This doesn't say that they're on reduced morale at all. Okay, should be fine. Again, all in the purpose of getting some Hibernian territory. The thing is, once I get, even if I just had Monapia, Akhid, and Talis, that would be enough to then count as my territory to get rid of those claims to the War Council. So I don't need to like do a huge land grab in Hibernia. Just set up a bit of an outpost over here. Alright, good. I'm the occupier. I don't know if the game is now automatically making the highest martial person on the tile be the occupier, but so far it's been helping me pretty well. Happy to see that. Yeah, so I think what we do is we fortify Monapia Borealis and we port Monapia Akhid and Talis and then leave it as it is. Yeah, I think that's probably... Okay, oh, thank God it didn't depopulate. It's like a panic attacks every time I finish an occupation around here. Population around here is so dire. It's sheesh. All right, so that's that. Sorry, Ablani, I kind of came in here and screwed it all up for you. Oh God, no, no! Forgot about this. Blania getting depopulated, screwed it all up. Shit. Okay, can't this count as coastal? I can reach it by boat. Come on. Okay, what do I do here? Tributary Calcia? Does this count as me having... Does this make it... I don't think this counts for the neighbor purposes. Shoot. Oh, God. Alright. I gotta think about this. What do I do here? I don't want to give it to Ablania. That would be... That would not be good. I mean, technically, this still... I still make profit from this, and it extends my influence into Hibernia. But this is not the outcome. I completely forgot that without Ablania, we can't even take this stuff. Damn. Yeah, this is a limitation of the INR, the Imperator's Navigable Rivers mod. These rivers don't count as coastal, which I guess is fair, but that's effectively what it is, you know. Is it even worth, though? I mean, these guys aren't in the northern province that I have claims on at the moment, so I could tributary these guys and then use them as a jumping off point later on. That being said, though, that doesn't mean they don't join me in war. I join them in war, but they don't join me in war. They do have limited diplomacy. I don't even know if tributary is worth it. I mean, that being said, 0.30 is actually a pretty sizable... My peacetime economy is something like 1.50. So I basically make the money and run. I can't just cancel the tributary relationship when I'm ready to start taking land in central Hibernia. Alright, well, this is a war I didn't even really plan to do, so let's just grab the free tributary and get out of here. What? 26th of July. Why can't I do this? Can't abandon your allies? Can I not even make them a tributary? Oh, you know what? It's because this is supposed to be at war with Ablania. Oh my god. There's literally no peace deal that I can do. Literally no peace deal that I can do. Holy crap. Alright, well, I guess we just... I don't even know what to do here. I guess we just leave this war as is. 100 war score war just being left alone shouldn't cause war exhaustion very severely. I think we leave it as it is. We come back over, we killed the Calcian army, we stock wipe them, and then we actually bring the Ablanian army with us into war against Voluntia like we planned originally. I think that's what we do. I think we actually declare war on Voluntia right now so that they have time to muster their forces and leave their super defensive terrain, come over to Calcia or towards Calcia Occidentalis. We sneak past them, go to Ismanian. Now that we know that Ablania doesn't have any super good generals that can assume control, this war should be doable. Actually, should we declare war? We should declare war on Voluntia. Although Ablania wouldn't do it. Oh, they have a truce with them? Are you kidding me? What about with these guys? God damn it. Ah, this is a Hibernian disaster. Everything's going wrong. I mean, fortunately, this is all for the purpose of just getting land, so it's not a huge deal. But now, getting it before... I have like less than a year to go to get Voluntian land. This is looking pretty grim. They have truces with everybody that I want to fight. What about Dorinia? Do you have a truce with Dorinia? They don't have a truce with Dorinia. This would be a very awkward war because we can't reach each other very easily. But I could attack Dorinia and then just run through Voluntia to get to Dorinia. Because I already can go through Ablania. Does this even really help me though? What about Rabogdia? Don't I have a truce with Rabogdia? I have a truce with them. Alright. Circumstances mean that I have to declare war on Dorinia of all people just to have... Yeah, this will have to do. I mean, this is an easier war because they don't have an ally. I think we bring in Ablania. We don't bring in Brigantia. Alright. I think we declare the war. Actually, no. First, I think I had military access with Valentia before, but let's get it again. And also with Winiknia, still go for it. It doesn't count as a relation, so no huge issue. I think we declare war on Durinia, call in Ablania. I guess I could call in Brigantia. I don't really want them to come and join, though, because I don't know what they're going to do. I think there's no need to. I think my relationship with them is fairly secure at the moment. Alright. Durinia. Alright, the Insular Celtic Local Power of Durinia. Alright, so this is kind of convoluted, but I think this is my best option, because they've got another forest, all these forests behind rivers, these stupid Hibernians, picking good spots for their capitals. How dare they? Outrageous. Alright, so this should be a very easy fight. Okay. The call to arms disappeared, and that kind of scared me for a moment, but nope. It is fine. Alright, so I just want to stack up the Kaukian army. Now, the nice thing is that Durinia should be drawn towards Ablania and not towards the Straits. I guess we shall see what happens after we siege this now. There's the stack wipe. Alright, so we besiege this as mine. It is what it is. And then once I'm allowed to end the war, I will. I literally can't end the war. There's no peace. You just saw there's no peace deal that the game lets me do. So, Scholar of the Divine. We've seen this event before. Actually, well, corruption isn't doing that much at the moment, so I think I will go for this, just because, even though I don't need the PI right now, I will need the PI later, so very well. More corruption on my guy. It's totally fine. This is going to depopulate it, won't it? Oh, real close. Alright, so these guys are going to walk over the strait. Or will they? Maybe I can get out there in time. Totally forgot that my boats were... You know what, actually, now I don't actually need to pay my boats, do I? I do not. Okay. Just pay. Alright, up we go. We're in a race against time to get this land before 460. Can I block them in time? I think I can. I really don't want them to cross the strait. There we go. Yeah, I did block them. So the way this works is because I control Nawante, like it's under my control, like it's my tile. They aren't allowed to cross when my fleet is right here. So this is the way it works according to the wiki. I'm glad to see that it does work like this. Now they're just going to go up here, but this is going to take them a long time, and what they're going to do though is they're going to depopulate all this stuff, aren't they? Alright, whatever. We just go up to Voluntia Orientalis, and I think what we do is once they are locked in, we back off, and then they're going to maybe come back, and we kind of go back and forth just to hold them up. That seems like something the AI would get tripped up about. Okay, so this is actually good. So Kaukia took a peace deal with Ablania, white peace. I'm okay with that. I would have liked to get this land. It looks like they just, yeah, it was a white peace deal, no trading of land. That was a war that I couldn't end when I wanted to, and that's kind of scary, so I'm glad that that happened. Now Ablania can just focus on this war. Alright, let's back up. Into the port, actually no. Let's go up here so we're in position and see what they do. Just to keep eyes on them. Now my fleet doesn't have any morale, so I need to watch for pirates. Yeah, there they go. This is what I thought they might do. So what I'll do is I'll bounce them back and forth. I need to keep them away from their really... Oh my god, seriously? I need to keep them away from their really good capital tile, because this spot, if I had to do a fight here, that'd be pretty brutal. So, the things I do for the War Council. So I hope what they do is they go back and forth trying to cross, then once they start crossing, I'll sail back down and stop them. We shall see what they do. I could assault this, actually. 3 population. I think assaulting might have a higher chance of depopulating. I'm not going to assault because I'm scared about depopulating now. It's just it's a spooky prospect. I have enough people that I can do the siege naturally. Okay, yeah, they're gonna go down like that. Alright, I'm in charge of the siege. Only 400 though. Oof. Does assaulting actually increase the chance at depopulating? I'm not sure about this. I think it would say if it did, right? I mean, if we depopulate this, I literally only need one tile in Hibernia. But now, you know what the issue is? The tile up here doesn't give me any new targets, because I have claims on all these people anyways. Crap, I didn't think about that. It's not even worth it. Like, what's the point even? Because the War Council will give me claims again on, like, Rabogdia, Winiknia, or Voluntia, who I have claims on anyways. Should have gone to war with somebody else. I don't have claims on anyone else, though, is the issue. If only these guys didn't have a truce with Winiknia. How long was their truce for? Still 61. Yeah, I wouldn't have had time. Oh well, I'll be able to do the War Council, even if it gives me a superfluous claim. I want to get it on cooldown. I don't want to wait another 10 years, just because I want to do it on October 1st of 60. Alright, it's alright. We've committed. The Hibernian misadventure is going to continue. We've already committed at this point to this this whole situation. What we can do is full annex Dorminia and sell off their nobles. That's at least, we can get that from the war at least. And then maybe even without lowering our forces, go ahead and do the Taxalia War right afterwards while everything is still raised up. Let's do it like that. So we'll make some money from this, from selling off the Dorenian nobles. Yeah, let's do it like that. What do you think about crossing? Okay. I'm so scared of depopulating. There's only about 3 population. That being said, 3 population is more than 2 population. So it's at least, because I think some of the other like Ablani, I think may have had 2 population. But if I depopulate it, then I have to then run over and grab the other spot, and then it's a big mess. The issue, though, too, is if I depopulate this, I can't get Voluntia Occidentalis. I could only maybe get Dorinia Borealis because it's coastal. So the main thing is that I need Dorinia Borealis to not be depopulated. It's only got 2 population, so it's kind of a risk. If I take this and then I occupy these areas through the controlling the provincial capital, that safely puts it in my control without my army having to walk around and kill the population. So I think we just chill here. We've got 3,318. There's no way they can dislodge me. They could maybe do a pretty good loss battle, or a pretty good fight where they lose like that, like what they're doing right here without all their forces. So we're attacking over the river into the forest. Okay, yeah, they stopped. We have about twice their number, so that'd be a painful fight, but it would be a fight that we'd win. I think we just... Oh, man, I'm worried about the timeline, though. Disloyal character. The clan chief is disloyal. I think we exalt the clan chief. This is actually pretty cheap right now. 20 loyalty for 120 months. This is more than enough. The other clan chiefs get mad, though. 51, yeah, that's fine. Alright. If the game would just assign him to be a general, he's a really good general, so I don't know why the game just won't do it. Good roll. Water shortage, that's a good roll. Okay. What's going on up here? Nagnadia and Winiknia are at war. Alright. Alright, this siege is going pretty well, so let's not get greedy. If we're approaching the end of the year, I push it, but otherwise we just let it siege. We got more than enough people here. Yeah, they can't even siege Kaukia, so we should be okay. This invasion of Hibernia has been very scuffed, but they send you back actually, and yeah, maintenance is off. In fact, let me actually lower army maintenance down because I don't intend to do any more fight. Well, actually, they could still attack me here. They might as their siege. Let's not play around. We'll eat the cost. No reason to be goofy. We'll just play it safe. All right, so so the best possible outcome here is that Voluntia Orientalis doesn't depopulate because I've played nice and I haven't forced the attack. And then I automatically get Dorinia Borealis, mainly that one because then it's my coastal tile, and then also Voluntia Occidentalis. Was that the perfect siege? Was it like 3 months? Holy moly, that was such a good siege. And on my channel and all my campaigns, I tend to have such terrible siege luck. This is this is a very good omen. Now we just post up here. Actually, you know what we do? Because I'm scared Ablani will run over and try and take over this stuff and then depopulate it, we actually make as though we're going to attack, or rather relieve Kaukia. And they come with us. We get a defensive fight in the plains over the rivers. That's pretty good. And then while this is goes under our control, and then we win the war since that's done. Prominent centralization. Tasgetius Marganus is one of our more prominent clan chiefs and a strong leader of his people. Their loyalty to the current rule has come into question lately, and Cowerinus Urcus has suggested moving some of that clan under our authority. Such a move would surely put us at odds with Tasgetius. So after we just exalted Carwinius, now he's getting a little out of his lane here, asking us to centralize some of Tasgetius' guys. Even though that isn't what's going on and this is just a random event, I like the roleplay explanation that Cowerinus, after we've exalted him, is getting a bit big for his britches, you know, so. Lose 25 PI, gain 1 centralization. That would actually be a trade that I'd consider worthwhile at the moment. Tasgetius gets very angry. I have to probably exalt Tasgetius now, or otherwise do something to help him out. These both cost the same loyalty. Also, a Nawante tribesman. That's the one tribesman in Nawante, so before I do this, I definitely need to move a population over here. Except I can't. An event demands my attention. Will this depopulate Nawante? I think it might. Which might be okay, except Nawante is my straight controlling tile, so I can't do this. That is unfortunate, and if I was able to move a population right now, like I'd move a slave over, I would go for this, but no, I can't do this, unfortunately. Get some free loyalty on... Actually, this is... Loyalty trade-off here is good, so we'll let things progress naturally. Come on. There we go, alright. Thank... can I not get this? It lets me click it. What's the issue? Are these touching? Yeah, they're touching right here. We'll let Vega die. It did. What is this? What's this fresh hell? Literally can't take it. Okay, well, I get my Hibernian holding at the least. Well, what is the issue? Is this lake in the way? That shouldn't matter. This is weird because it says I'm allowed to take it. But I literally, I'm clicking it, I can't get it. Oh, here we go. Okay, if I do it suggest, it sends them all to me. Okay. Okay, scary UI glitch, but totally fine. Let's just take everything. This is important because I need to fully annex these guys to get the nobility, so, okay. The Doridian Elite, alright, we know where these guys are going. Straight to prison. Events. Alright, the insular Celtic local power of Dorinia accepts our generous peace offer of all their land to me. Very good. Alright, now what we do is double back over to Kaukia Orientalis, pick the guys up, and we head over to Taxalia for that war. First though, let's take a look at this land. I think I'll move the... So this is going to be my Hibernian Septentrionalis territory for now. Oh, geez, all right. Actually, it's not that bad because the population is so low. I think we move the capital over to Voluntia Orientalis just to be fortified. That's obviously going to be important. It's also, again, it's a good spot for a defensive capital. This is not going to be the permanent provincial capital spot, obviously. But for now, this is a good hold fast in the Hibernian wilderness. Change the policy. I think we change it straight to cultural assimilation. No planar. We have plenty of PI to work with here. And I think we maybe build a port over here. We definitely need a port to land at. I mean, I think what we do is we keep the Ablanian alliance. I think, you know what, honestly, minus 10% PI at the moment is actually okay. Normally, I'd be very bothered by that, but at the moment, it's okay. Ablania is serving us well as a port and as kind of a dropping off point on Hibernia. I think what we do, because Ablania doesn't own any territory in the northern province that I have territory on, that I have claims on, we slowly work our way around the northern province. Then once we're ready to fight Ablania, we just break the alliance. We keep him as an ally just to be our landing point at the moment, so we can keep the very nice farming settlement over here. There's also farming, yeah, there's some like good buildings around here. Yeah, unless I think that this is going to be a city later, in which case I destroy the building to make money for now. The territory around here is really bad. The terrain, I mean, for cities. I probably want... Oh... 1, 2, 3, 4... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Yeah, I'd want Voluntia Australis to actually be my city if I was going to build one in the middle. This is hills? Okay. Hills. Yeah, I think Voluntia Australis would have to be the city, not Voluntia Austin. I guess I could build 2 cities. I think if I destroy this, it doesn't make me that much money. All right, before I end the episode, let's go ahead and sell off. Let's release the children. Sell you. Yeah, Abs at 0 tyranny, so this is good timing. Release you. Let's sell you. Sell you. Release. And sell you. Sell you. Is that everyone? Alright. Okay, so we got ourselves a foothold in Hibernia. Very strange foothold, but this will have to do. And importantly, we now have neighbors in Hibernia. These might be neighbors I have claims on anyways, but we can do our war council in 460 with a clear conscience. And this has been such a strange episode. Let's head back over to Calcia Orientalis, pick him up on the first fleet, and send him over to Boness to get ready for the war. I think I'll just keep my momentum going. Now, Taxalia has no allies and no navy, so this is a good time to do this no fleet maintenance war, because I've already got everything all set up. And I don't have any war exhaustion, so this should be pretty free. So let's go ahead and unpause and just get that going before we end the episode. Yeah, I think having Ablania be my my ally on Hibernia just for these purposes is a pretty good call. I got my territory now. All right. Boots. All right. We're gonna head over here to Boness. I guess I could actually just come here and then drop off and start the war, and then I have the fleet go back to Boness. I guess I could just keep the fleet right here. These guys are fighting Caledonia. You know what? That's actually perfect because their army won't be in Aberdwy. Where's the? Hold on. The Caledonia provincial capital in Taxalia is here in Wakomagi, which means that the Taxalian army will actually go over to Wakomagi, which gives me time. Okay, this is perfect timing. Absolutely perfect. All right. Off we go to Taxalia. And that's going to be it for this episode of the Monapia campaign. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time.